So this was the song of LECTRIS, Be Free. And it might refer to L like Elohim, God, LECTRIS, electricity, free electricity, and of course you can also look at other videos to save energy. You will find the credits in the description of this video here. credits for this free use of the song, and of course also other um, videos about this topic. So I would like to go on. Let's talk about a blog. This is edition number should be 118. Okay. Yes, so here we are, and we will go to the website.
Lost system. Born in this system. I'm up in this system. I felt good in this system. I was lost in this system. Was born in this system. I'm up in this system. I felt good in this system. I was lost in this system. And one day, my doctor did diagnose I had a latest overdose. Overdose.
So here we are at the blog again, and today we will talk further about this UNO program of mixing up all people from all over the world, now especially in Western countries, but I think it will automatically change in the whole world, because then Western people will flee at least after the crash, if it was to other countries where there is still food. And under the crash already, as I said in the previous blog number, what was it? 17 yesterday, that already 1.5 million people leaving Germany in last year. So it is a number showing that there's something going on. So there will be the exchange of population between the countries for the new world order. Some people might even think that's a good thing. We are all one family, all one world, but you have to always look at who will lead this one world. That I think God has created different races and put them into different places for some reason. So they have different yeah, mindset and different experiences and different qualities. And that I don't think you can really bring these people together and live together, as you know about the ghettos. So people living in the ghettos in Germany as well, and so it is not a real living. There's only a small percentage which can adjust to other communities, and there are of course also white people who can become a Muslim, or American people who like to connect to the Red Indians and so on. But these are only exceptions. In general, they stick to each other. And so when you have in America, it's different because it is already, it was maybe before white America, but the Jews mixed it up with African slaves, selling them to white farmers, and also bring the Spaniards, especially from Mexico. So it is no more a white nation, and Europe, they want to, or they actually changed already, especially the western part of Europe. It's nearly done, and so they are going on with this. And in September we have in Germany we have the election, and it looks like many people will go to vote again because they still don't understand, even though uh, the Constitutional Court has decided that all elections since 1956 are illegal. And when the Constitutional Court, which is also of the system or from the system, uh, decides like this, probably in a corner, but it doesn't bring any attention, not in the media and so on. You can only check it up on probably on the website of this court about the decisions. So not many people know about this. And now it's a little bit more people that know about it, but the majority of the voting sheeple, they go to vote. And especially since they have a new honeypot, the alternative for Germany, which is actually a national socialist, you can say movement, but not really like a Hitler movement, but see the term socialist in the foreground, and socialism is always connected to communism and Bolshevism, Judaism, and so on. And so there are many people, maybe the official numbers are less, but 5 to 10% at least. So there are 5 to 10% who really will go to vote and not want to vote for the old parties. They want to get a new party elected, and they don't know that the new party is of the old parties. It's a branch of the old parties, and I could see this instantly. Also, when I see the figures, I mean the persons representing this party. I'm sorry. Every uh, yeah political party is of the system, of course. So that means these people still don't have enough of the system, and so they will go to vote. Maybe it is even last election for Germany, because I have heard that from November the government now, which is not re-elected yet, but it doesn't matter if the Christian Democrats or the Social Democrats, together with the Greens or even left, or even with the AfD Alternative for Germany, will be voted into the parliament. It will be done, I think, a law about bringing together the families for the refugees. It's actually already practice, because you can go on the airports, you can see, also there are videos on YouTube that already people coming together. Yeah? So the husband is
lost in this system. I was born in this system.
so the Syrian, or so-called Syrian, terror fighter husband is picking up his wife, all these stories. So when she can come, I think it is already about bringing together the family, and they come also with children and so on. But then it will really start, and I can tell you why it is very decisive. Because they were bringing in one, maybe in the most cases, one man who is able to do this. And when you know the route, especially now from Libya, so they have to get to Libya first. Maybe that's easy to fly to Libya, but then they have to pay money to get organized the illegal way in nighttime or early morning, the 18 miles going out until these NGO ships waiting for them and collect them and save them, bringing them over to Italy, and then they will then be put in the camps, concentration camps, of course, and later on sent further to Germany. And all the aim is Germany only. You hear only Germany, not France or something. Maybe some will say Scandinavia, but they even cannot directly decide for this. The organizations, or the, let's say, governmental organizations, they will tell them, you have to go this place, you have to go this place, and you cannot change. Shut up. Yeah. So they will also realize that it doesn't work the way that they thought it would be. Yeah. And so most of the people will go to Germany for some reason. Germany has to be brought down. This war is ongoing already since 1914, maybe even longer, but in different steps, to bring down the German population, and in the next step the European population, and then the whole world population. Everybody is affected by this. So for this one man who's going there, who has made it, and that's what I wanted to say. When they go on the boat, you see, I don't know how many people, hundreds of people in one big wooden boat. Uh, you know, the Mediterranean might be not so stormy, so they might make it themselves, but the coast from Libya to Sicily in Italy is quite the longest way they have to go. The other ways more convenient, like from Tunisia to Malta first. Interestingly, they seem not to go to Malta, or even from Ceuta, or from Morocco to Spain. This is also another route, and I think will also increase this. So there are many different ways to get to Europe, and now they all want to go to Europe to get the big money. And of course, all on false prediction or false information from official side. This is all connected with this Hungarian Jew, George Soros, and the UN-HCR officially. You know? And they, of course, say, oh, these are the human traffickers. They are doing this. We have no influence on this. They are the human traffickers themselves. That's for sure. Just take a closer look. So this one man who is arriving in Germany still has to be put into the camp, and then after that uh, he has to register. This is very important for the system, because this way the system makes the money. With the registration of a new person regarding person, so the human becomes a person, or he gets a person with documents, a name, address, and so on. The German financial agency in Frankfurt, they can get new loans, and they bargain new loans every day, yeah, for so-called Germany, or actually for the federation. And so they need new people, they need new blood that will sacrifice for this, because you don't need to think when you take a loan that you will there's no problem in this. You have to pay back. You have to pay back, where the other side didn't have any problem to create this loan, just nowadays in the computer, and to make a contract. And this contract is very important. Every contract actually, and so a contract is like a deal with the devil. You can say like this, because maybe 1,000 years ago, the people make a handshake, and this was enough. You trust the word, and if somebody is not reliable, everybody will know, and nobody will make a deal anymore with this man. But nowadays you have to do with contracts, and in these contracts there are always some legal terms which most of the people don't understand. So anyway, I want to come back to this one man, one of the millions coming to Germany, and now you think he has a wife eventually, or he will get a wife, because Facebook and so on. So he has already friends, and then they can connect somehow. And now I'm in Germany, and when I'm through this process, I will make the big money, or I'm already making the big money through selling drugs and also prostitution, and gun delivery, whatever, arms delivery, whatever they do, all illegal things. They might have children. Let's say only one wife and 2 children. Or actually, when I put here the number, I make 1 man, yeah, and 1 wife and 2 children. Maybe more, but let's say 2 children. In some cases, also possible that he doesn't have a wife yet, but he will organize. He will organize a wife. Who wants to marry with me? Good life in Germany. Yeah, everything is free. Out of the back of the German taxpayer, not only German taxpayer, every taxpayer and nationality has to pay for this. So also other foreigners, even Turkish people, are pissed off by this. And so, but family means also the parents. This is my family, this is my parents. The parents have to come as well. And this was in the 70s already with the Turkish people, so the parents could also come from Anatolia. So these are another 2 people. And yeah, sister and brother, this is my family. So you have another, sister and brother. I make the number 4 because it's quite likely that they have two brothers or 2 sisters and even more to get the number 10. So you can also make 1 sister and 1 brother more, like in my family. But this is a German family, and you can imagine that Asian families, Pakistani or African families, they have much more, but at least 10. So I see the factor 10. This is what you can count. And that means out of 1 million men coming, where many are criminals, they get another 10 million coming, which doesn't mean criminals. So it will be maybe 1 million criminals and 9 million people who are just out for the money, for the um, welfare system. Because this is what I can guarantee you: the wife, and especially they are all Muslim, or most of them are Muslim. The wife, um, he can have three other wives, and because this will be all financed, there will be three other wives for sure that also want to have welfare. They will receive the welfare. They will be paid for the children. The parents will receive. Parents cannot work. Whatever. I have seen pictures. There are very old people coming there, uh, and yeah, sisters and brothers. Um, yeah, the sisters, I don't know what they will do, but the brothers, they will do the same like the one man is doing. So they will do this. You see, the system can finance this very easily.
I was lost in this system, and one day my doctor did diagnose I have a big system overdose.
Yeah, the system can easily finance this because they can nearly make money out of thin air, and so this will be always working with the money. So you know you what is this? You they are using a decoy to get these people into Europe from Africa and from Asia. I don't think the people are so stupid there, but I remember one guy traveling in Black Africa, so Ghana, Nigeria, where they are also coming from, especially northern Nigeria, Boko Haram, Muslim, that he was sitting in a bar and then they were watching a movie, Hollywood movie, and one African guy besides him, he said, "Wow, you really can do all these things like Spider-Man or Superman." Superman movie it was. And so he was thinking, unbelievable. These people really think that we can do these things in America, flying around and so on. So you can imagine that we have such people when you tell them you get everything free and you can do what you want, that they want to go there, especially criminal people. So this is a very simple calculation, but it is very possible, very likely, this calculation. Because they will make the law. Actually, there's already a law for this, but I don't know why they have to do another one, or maybe they make another one to make it more working better without hinderness. I don't know what they plan to do, but this they will do after election, because when they would do it before election, probably, yeah, the old parties at least would not be elected again. So this calculation shows the, I even write it, not factor but factor, so because they fuck with this, 10. So you have to make out of 1 million, it's 10 million, but there are many other million men coming. You can imagine what kind of population you will have in Germany, the smallest Germany ever, and then has officially 80 million, but I think it's 90 or 100 million now, and they will have 160 million or 200 million in the end, and then you do the crash, and there's no food. And you have to keep something in mind. I will talk about him later here also, that Adolf Hitler, in his book My Struggle, mm, he explained why he has to go into Russia for the so-called Lebensraum, the living space. And he explained the dependence of Germany from the resources. And when you have a communist, Bolshevik, Yiddish, Jewish, whatever, Freemasonry Russia, Soviet Union, they will be not friendly with Germany. And even he said in another book that when there would be a nationalist Russia, like now with Putin, communist nationalist, then they would still be very envy about the Germans. They can make so good products, the best quality products, which is truly the case, comparing to the Russians at least. And so there would be always the idea of Russia, or for sure the Soviet Union, which is still existing, to conquer the whole of Europe and to make the Germans just to be the slave. Because at the moment they have to give the resources, which is also easy to do, because you only need to get up the resources, deliver them, and for this you get the very good quality goods. But the Germans have to work for this always, and so this uh, this is the thing. So out of 1 million, you will have then 10 million people, and so when you have this high number, which can be then up to 200 million at the crash, and he said already, we don't know how to feed our population, and the population is increasing and has to increase. We need to have more people. That's why he had this family program to make many children, and uh, he also made, I think, a law about the seventh child will be the carer of the seventh child of each family, and they will receive a house. And this was the case in my family. Yeah, on the father's side, that they with the house, and you can still see the houses also in Poland, in Silesia, and Pomerania. These are the houses that have been built during this time for the families who have many children. And so he knew already that what will come. So, and now he had to go into Russia, especially Ukraine, to get this land under control, not to enslave the Russian people, but to have military now, like American militaries in Germany, in Russia, and to control the government, that it is friendly with Germany, and that they can receive the resources as they need. Yeah? So that the business is secured, and not that Soviet Union in one night can decide, we just take over the whole of Europe, and then we don't need to pay anything anymore or give anything anymore. So this fear actually made this happening. And now, because he said we cannot feed so many German people on this land, we have to remember that Germany was much bigger, before. And so they had the size of France, and this was not enough. And they had good soil in the east, but not as good as in Poland and in Ukraine. So they had received the corn and the oil from these Eastern European parts, from Russia and Ukraine. And so Germany needs the oil, the resources, to make products that they can survive. They need to create this and sell all over the world. Otherwise, they wouldn't have the means to buy the food, because they need to import food. And most of the food in Germany is imported. And even worse, that there's actually, when you look in Google Earth, you see a lot of landscape. So you can actually think there should be enough food production, but in reality it doesn't look like this. There are many fields with nothing, and so they don't care about food production so much, because we have money to buy, and we get the food from somewhere else. But when this money has more value, or it is only a local currency, they will not get anything, and there would be only one option. You can give the goods directly for some food. The only thing is that other nations, especially outside of Europe, they don't need the products anymore because the BMW or the Benz or other products are already produced in Africa and Asia or whatever. They are already outside Europe. So that means they don't need to buy from Europe. Why? They produce cheaper in their area. So this is the so-called globalization. And that's why the crash will be really hard and will cost many, many lives. And this is especially, this is the payback. This is the price they have to pay. Even though the sheeples never knew that this will be the outcome. Yeah. Still, this is the game, the evil game of Satan with the money, and this is the price to be paid for generations. So out of 1 million, it will be then 10 million. If you see this simple number, it could be even more. And out of 10, there would be 100 million. That means if you get 10 million refugees coming in, and not family, no family coming together yet. 10 million refugees only. Yeah? So single man, mostly single man. And I think this could be very likely the case because they don't really know the number coming in. They might know some number that have been registered officially already, 1.57 million. You see different numbers, to 2 million or something in 2015 and 16. But before already it was the case, and after that as well. So there will be 10 million for sure. So I think Germany will get 100 million with this new law coming in to bring the families together. And this is then the real exchange of population. New people will come and take the place of the old people or the people who have always been living there. It's like with the Red Indians, and they have to move to smaller places. And not to forget, the federal court has decided for German people 12 square meters living space per person is enough. So for me it is enough for sure. My room here is actually about the size of 12 square meters only. So this is okay for me. But you know, other people who need more space, they should have the possibility. But there's a law already in place saying this is what you need to have, this is the minimum, but we can reduce it to the minimum now. And so I saw a news today, interestingly news on MSN, where I like to comment very directly. They didn't delete me, but MSN internationally, not only on the German side, but also worldwide, even here in this country, they decided now not to completely remove the comment function. Before it was only on some sites like football games or so unimportant things about celebrities, and still there I can write a lot of things about the Jews and whatever. And I'm not the only one. Other people are more moderate because they have to be careful with their name, and they will lose the job. So, but there's actually more than 50% really criticizing the system, and they cannot accept this anymore, and so they have to turn off. And they were writing, or you can actually check it out now. Maybe it's should be now visible on msn.com. That they are thinking about a new solution. A new solution. I don't know what new solution they want to make, but they have no control anymore about the comments. But it is a very weak thing of MSN or Microsoft, Bill Gates, and the system. It's of course coming more likely from the system to the company, that they have to do something about it, that this information is not being spread, and this is very strange, because freedom of speech, everybody should say whatever they want, and maybe they're wrong, so other people can say you are wrong, you see it the wrong way, look at it at another way, from another angle, and so on. They cannot do this anymore, because I think the truth is the truth, even though it might not be completely the truth. It's only you think it is the truth out of your interpretation or position or whatever, but still it's already truth enough that they have to make this measure. Yeah. So it shows everything where we stand. The system, they don't know what to do anymore. So they can actually only send their news out and hope that somebody will read this shit. I actually were suddenly reading something about this. I just gave a comment, or I was reading just the comments and replying to this. It's more interesting than this article. Um, and now I just took this MSN out of the homepage and just make the Google homepage. It's better, because when I cannot comment, then I don't need to use this. So anyway, so we will have 100 million people expected for Germany, which has a population of 80 million, or had a population of 80 million before. And it was actually thought that Germany would reduce in the next 10 or 20 years to 79, 75 million, because of the birth rate. But they make a really program. This is just unbelievable. But this program will make more and more people wake up. People who maybe still don't think differently about the situation, they will wake up. Um, so it's a good thing that the system is doing this. The system is a system, that means it's doing automatically. It cannot think itself. It cannot reason. Uh, this you should keep in mind. That's why the system will actually now work against itself. So it will bring in the criminal people. So the ordinary sheeple German people, stupid people, idiots, they will get taught their lesson. And this is all, it's all necessary. Obviously, some people don't need it. They can see it already. They have to protect themselves. They have still some time to find the right way to protect as much as possible. Yeah, may God save them. But those who don't think, okay, and it happens already. It happens already that such cases like this Turkish leftist woman who was raped by three refugees, and then she was writing a letter to these uh, rapists that she is very sorry for this, for their situation. She has understanding that they had to do this because of the frustration, and so on. I don't know how someone can be so stupid. Yeah? It's like, yes, it was my fault that you had to do the bad thing. This is really the worst, and this is coming from Germany, from a Turkish woman, but still, I think she grew up in Germany. But this is the leftist thinking. They are really left behind or turned around. They are actually really crazy. So that means you will have people who, whatever happened to them, uh, nearly being killed, they still would think that this is only some exceptions. The others, they might be still good. Yeah, then there's nothing you can do about it. So you can only save yourself, watch out yourself. But there will be a change for sure, and I think the system will lose this whole thing. But what they do now is, of course, something. Yeah, it has to be resolved in the future, because one thing is for me for sure, you cannot have African and North Indian people, Muslim people, in a place where they don't belong, yeah, and where they cannot adjust to anything. And I'm not for mixing races and whatever. Whoever decides for himself to partner with another race, that's these are single cases in my opinion. They can do this, and they can decide to live either in this country or the other country. This is all okay, but not on this scale, deliberately planned by the government. Yeah? And when the people and they saw that the German people don't want to mix up as they thought, then they now bring in half of Africa, then this is only sick. Yeah? But there are people, German people probably, who really have this thinking that this is all good. Yeah, then okay, then it is good. But it has something good in it, because it will make a change in the brain of the people. They will not be so convenient, so lazy anymore, and they will act. They will have to act on this. But with every day, thousands of more criminals come in, it will be harder and harder. I don't know. I actually don't know how to deal with this, because I would not go for violence. The case of Hitler shows already there's no chance. And he even said, and this is coming in the end. Okay, I will say this in the end. So fast it can go. They have to still deliver the, let's say, 100 million, but in another blog video, I already explained how they can do this with the airplanes from different places. So it can be done within 1 year. You can send 100 million people in. We know that 70 million people are registered refugees waiting in camps. So you have already 70 million people that they want to come. But this is not a family bringing together. This is 70 million people who want to go to the Western countries. So, and for this you make a Euro crash, the crash. And now you also know, the Europeans, why the Euro was made. And the Euro was actually never accepted by the population. Germany they didn't ask for, I think France, I think also not. In Ireland they had to do it 2 or 3 times until the result was as the government wished for. Maybe it was just manipulated, whatever. And then when the crash comes, then you have this struggle for existence. This is exactly what Hitler said with these invaders. And with this criminal energy, there's no way that you can survive on this, especially since they would fight with no rules, and of course with many people. So this then looks very, very bad. I think with or without weapon, even they would deliver weapon to the Germans as well, because they, everybody kills each other. I think the result is already there. And this is what Hitler wrote in his last letter, which I bought on eBay, I think. This last letter. And this last letter was something about, he was very disappointed about the German people, that they did not fight, struggle through until the last drop of blood or the until the last hour movement, um, and they didn't understand the cause for this, why they had to fight. And there's also another story about Tirola. Tirola is in Austria. Southern Tyrol is now in Italy. And there's a guy, Andreas Hofer. And this guy, in the Napoleon time, he was fighting for Tirola. And while the Bavarians and the Austrians actually surrendered to Napoleon, because this French army was just too strong at that time. And this Andreas Hofer, he had an advisor, and this advisor was actually thinking like Hitler. And this advisor said to him, "You have to fight this struggle too. If there would be only one man and one woman." So this man said to Andreas Hofer, if in this case you have to fight this struggle through, and if only one man and one woman would survive, but we would have won over them, over the enemy, then it was for the right cause. And this is something which Andreas Hofer could not accept, and he surrendered, and then he was brought to, I think, Paris or somewhere, and then he was, I think, hanged there because of the rebellion. Yeah. So this is very hard for the people. It's not acceptable, things like Hitler is saying, but it's also understandable in theory what he was saying, that if you don't win this race, or if you surrender, then your time will be over. The race will be finished by other races. And that means the white Aryan or indo-germanic race, European race, which is also the Slavic race, will have to go down. And for this, I recommend you to look at deagle.com. This is the website I was already presenting. This is already the plan that to bring down in Western countries the population. And this is what Hitler foresaw. He said, when we lose this struggle, for sure they, that means the international jury, will send in all other nations to destroy us. Not just the Russian army with the Mongols, with the Asian, because the Soviet army had also a lot of Asian combatants. They were sent in the whole world, and the most cruel and barbaric fighters. And this is now the case. Yeah? After the war, Germany was rebuilt and so on, so people forgot about it, and they thought, this Hitler, he was all wrong. He just made our country to be destroyed. It would not have happened if Hitler would not have started the war. Did he really start the war? Just think about it. And so it was all forgotten about this, and the people thought, if we are only good slaves, they were not thinking slaves, if we are working well, and we would even work our asses off for the whole world, then they will let us alive. But this is not the case. The devil is not working like this, and this is only the beginning of depopulation of all mankind. That's for sure. So the white race has to vanish first, at least in a great number. So that's what I can see. So there will be a few left, because you have white people also in other places all over the world. In Paraguay, you have also white people living there. I don't think that they will be erased or something. But he said exactly this, that these people will come, and you have to think about Afghan people coming. Afghan people uh, who are not from the Taliban, actually fighting the Taliban, but they have a very similar attitude. Great people on one hand, but on the other hand, if you are their enemy, they just kill you, easily. They have no problem with this, and from the back, of course. So, like German people who always want to fight with rules, no way, yeah, no way. This is what they did with the hard war rules. This is how they got Germany defeated also, First World War already and the second as well, because they were sticking to the rules more than any other nations. There were also breaches of rules of these, but most of the time the Germans were just sticking too much to these rules. Actually, the war does not allow any rules anyway, but you have to win. So, and now you have these people, you have Pakistani people from Balochistan and so on, where one Pakistani friend, he said to me, they are the most barbaric people in the whole world. And then you have African people. I only remember the English people about their army in the war against the African tribes, where they were defeated. So even you with guns, you cannot even win against these people. Yeah? Even you have a home game, which is an advantage for sure. But these people are just, they are warriors. They have this in the blood. With these people, you don't mess around. Good example is also Vietnam. They're not using Vietnamese people, but it's this style. And so you will meet your yeah, your enemy which you cannot defeat, like Alexander the Great was defeated in India. So these people you cannot defeat. Yeah? Not your way, not this way. And Afghanistan shows very clearly the English could not win, the Russians could not win, and not only because of the CIA activities, because now with CIA and all activities, they still cannot win against the Taliban. They cannot win this in Afghanistan. So when you have now millions of Afghan people in Germany doing the war, as a compensation for Germans and white Aryan, European, American forces in Afghanistan, whatever. So they will give the right answer for sure. They will think this is now the time where we can pay back. But also for them it will be bad, because when this is all done, if this will still happen, and I think it will happen, because we will start with a new population for sure in the new world, without a new world order, then they will be also the next. But we will see. This is I cannot foresay everything, but this is only my opinion. It can also come another way, another Holocaust against the poor refugees. This is also an option. I think about the Syria case, that this will happen to Germany and other parts, and then of course the Russians will be also playing a role in this, and finally China anyway. And the Chinese dragon will be defeated in the sea. You can read in the Freemason Bible. So anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow we will talk about something religious. This is this part. And then there is another part before we come to the flat earth, which is very interesting, maybe the most interesting for me. So yeah, I think I can play the song I Was Lost in the system overdose remix of SystemProTest, the dance music for Flat Earth.
SystemProTest. SystemProTest.
Okay, that's it. See you next time, or see you tomorrow for the next vlog. Bye bye.